Renee. This is my daughter, Danny Michelle. In a little over a week, she'll be 8 years old. She's a third grader at the Brown School. When she was born, the doctor said, "There's something wrong." The doctor then started explaining what she suspected. As I started panicking and asking what I should do, she said none of that is important right now because she's not breathing. After they resuscitated Danny, they took her immediately to the NICU. She spent almost a month there and was resuscitated one more time. It was a whirlwind of specialists. Lots of these specialists started explaining things that she would never do, like use her hands and possible limitations she would have in life. Danny has 3 different special needs. She was born with congenital adrenal hyperplasia. This is a condition where her body doesn't produce 2 hormones that are essential for life. She takes medicine to replace these hormones. About a year after that, she was diagnosed with hydrocephalus and had surgery to place a shunt on her brain to keep the excess fluid pumped away. Just a few years ago, I found out she had a condition called Williams syndrome duplication. At a very young age, Danny started receiving therapy services. Before her 3rd birthday, I started hearing about a therapy using a horse. I wasn't familiar at all with it, but very interested. At this time, Danny was barely talking, only using fragmented sentences or baby sign language. The first encounter with a horse was very scary for Danny. She screamed and cried and crawled up me, didn't want to be anywhere near the horse. So we just decided just to go for it. We put her on there. I started to walk away, just not to be involved. And when I looked over, she said, "Look at me, Mama, I'm a big girl." So basically, she just needed a horse. She hasn't stopped talking since that day. When I try to explain to people that aren't familiar with this type of therapy, I use the analogy of the horse as a power cord. It was Danny and her brain. Everything was trapped inside with no electricity. This therapy and these horses are the power cord that connect the two and allowed her to finally communicate. She gets so excited to come here. To any of us watching, it may just look like she's riding a horse, but every second she's sitting on a horse, a different part of her body, muscles, and most importantly, her mind are being utilized differently than when she's just doing something without the horse. The therapists use horses specifically with each child in mind. The movement of every horse is different, just like each of us moving differently. With this in mind, each child is paired up with a horse depending on the type of therapy needed. This is the child that was never supposed to use her hands, and she rides the horse backwards, doing sit-ups while the horse is walking. If you don't mind, I'd like to read just a short piece that was written by a parent of a child with special needs. It's called "Welcome to Holland." I'm often asked to describe the experience of raising a child with a disability, to try to help people who have not shared the unique experience to understand it. To imagine how it would feel, it's like this. When you're going to have a baby, it's like planning a fabulous vacation trip to Italy. You buy a bunch of guidebooks and you make wonderful plans. It's all very exciting. After months of eager anticipation, the day finally arrives. You pack your bags and off you go. Several hours later, the plane lands. The stewardess comes in and says, "Welcome to Holland." Holland, you say? What do you mean Holland? I signed up for Italy. I'm supposed to be in Italy. All my life I've dreamed of going to Italy. But there's been a change in the flight plan. They've landed in Holland and there you must stay. The important thing is that they haven't taken you to a horrible, disgusting, filthy place full of pestilence, famine, and disease. It's just a different place. So you must go out and buy new guidebooks, and you must learn a whole new language, and you'll meet a whole new group of people you would never have met. It's just a different place. It's slower paced than Italy, less flashy than Italy. But after you've been there for a while and you catch your breath, you look around and you begin to notice that Holland has But everyone you know is busy coming and going from Italy, and they're all bragging about what a wonderful time they had there. And for the rest of your life, you will say, yes, that's where I was supposed to go. That's what I had planned. And the pain of that will never, ever, ever go away, because the loss of that dream is a very significant loss. But if you spend your life mourning the fact that you didn't get to Italy, you may never be free to enjoy the very special things, the lovely things about Holland. I'll never be able to fully explain and express my gratitude towards this program and its therapists, or the beautiful, amazing things it has done for Danny. Thank you, Green Hill. We love you.
Hi. Thank you for coming.